Facebookers over here set up. Okay. So if you haven't done this class with me before, it's just 45 minutes. And it's deep power, so longer holds, slower practice. This is my personal favorite way to practice rather than just a really quick flow that we're moving through poses. I really like holding the poses because I feel like that's where we really get into them and find what's inside of us, what each pose has to offer us. So with that, we'll just kind of work with that idea throughout class, and let's start in a child's pose. So knees can be wide, knees can be together, or just somewhere in between. So kind of feel into your child's pose rather than just moving straight back into it. Move around a little bit. So you might even move your hips from side to side, walk your hands from one side to the other. And then as you're ready, no rush, settle in. Find stillness. So as much as you're able to, just give your weight, all of your body weight, to the ground. So see if you can notice right away where you're kind of tensing up or holding yourself up, resisting. And then just allow your muscles to soften a little bit. Next time you breathe in, fill up as big as you can and hold at the very top of that breath. So breathe all the way down into your low belly, low back, hold, sip in just a little bit more. Exhale, open mouth, sigh. Take just one more round like that. So big inhale. Feel this breath inside of your body, this prana, this life force. Hold. And when you're ready, that open mouth sigh, let it go. All right, my friends, Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. So see if you can start to create that Darth Vader noise with your breath. And as you tap into this deeper diaphragmatic breath, let's start to move. So rise up to hands and knees. And maybe you start with some cat-cow undulations. Maybe you start to circle your hips all the way around. So basically just move intuitively through your spine, your hips, your shoulders. You can explore with your arms. So maybe you bend one elbow and then the other, both at the same time. So just whatever feels kind of instinctual right now. And I really like to close my eyes to get out of my head and just feel more into my body. So what feels a little bit stiff or a little bit tight? And then get curious about that, explore that. Take about 3 to 5 more rounds. So honestly, if we were really present and really paid attention, I bet we could do this, just this exact same thing, explorative, intuitive movement for the entire 45 minutes. And it would be so beneficial, so valuable. You can play around with that anytime you want on your own. Sometimes that's my practice, is just intuitive movement. So if you don't have a class to take, try it. All right, my friends, and then we're going to find our way back to down dog when you are ready. So kind of finish up whatever you're doing, whatever way you're exploring, and then meet me back in down dog. Once you're back in your downward facing dog, similar thing, just intuitively feel out this pose. So perhaps that means taking your feet out nice and wide and switching your weight from side to side. Maybe you bend both knees a lot and just work on lengthening from your fingertips all the way up to your sit bones. Perhaps you give your head a little shake or a little nod. And then where did your breath go? Is it still there? Is it still big, powerful, spacious? So reconnect to those deep diaphragmatic breaths. Feel them and even hear them. All right, let's take one more big inhale. See if you can lift your sit bones, lift your butt cheeks just a little bit higher. Press down through your fingertips. Exhale, look to the top of your mat. As slow as you can go, baby steps on your tiptoes to the top. So each time you step forward, see if you can really draw your femur bone up into the hip socket using your core strength. So if you pay attention here, wow, you can get a little core workout as you walk forward. Once you're at the top of your mat, forward fold. So set your heels on the ground. I'd say feet hips width distance apart, or maybe even a little bit wider. All 10 toes face forward. Grab opposite elbows, take ragdoll pose. So maybe a little sway with your upper body, swing side to side, or bob a little bit up and down. Weight slightly forward in your feet. So your heels are really, really light against the ground. If you wanted to play, you can even pick your heels up just ever so slightly. So you want to feel the engagement of your core to help you balance navel to spine, and then you're lifting your sit bones, lifting your butt up, letting the crown of your head draw down. Take one more round. End of that exhale, release your elbows, find your spinal extension, your halfway lift. So get all the rounding out of your back now. Exhale, let it go, fold. We're gonna do that twice more. Inhale, halfway lift. Press back through the tops of your thighs, broaden your sit bones. Reach forward through the top of your head, back of your neck is long. Exhale, fold. So crown of your head towards the ground, butt towards the sky, empty out. Last one, inhale, halfway lift. This is just like a downward facing dog, but your feet are on the ground. Same position, exhale, let it go. Now root through your feet. Reverse swan dive, so heart leads, come all the way up to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms up, maybe even little gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, pause here for a moment. You can keep your hands at your heart or let your arms fall down by your sides. Roll your shoulders back and down, palms face forward. So mountain pose. If you want to bring your feet in a little closer, so hips width distance or even big toes touch, whatever works best for you. Find a neutral pelvis, nice and neutral spine. So you should feel just the slightest tone in your lowest, deepest abdominals, your transverse. That's supporting your low back. Broaden through your shoulders, through your collarbones. Draw up through the crown of your head. So I think that this pose is where everything begins. All the awareness starts, just standing with awareness. Take one more big inhale here. Press down through your feet. Draw up through the crown of your head. Hold. Exhale, open mouth, sigh. All right, Ujjayi. Let's flow for a moment. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive down. So stick your butt out behind you. Heart leads all the way down. Release your neck at the bottom. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bow. Empty out. Press into your feet. Lead with your heart. Little or big bend in your knees as you rise. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Again, just like that, big spacious breaths guiding your movement. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, slow swan dive. So traction out your spine as you dive, then let it all go. With your inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Sit bones towards the sky, crown of your head towards the ground. Press into your feet, stick your butt out behind you, lead with your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, we're gonna add on. Inhale, arms to the sky. Grab hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Side body stretch over to the right with your upper body, and then see if you can send your hips over to the left. So bring more weight into your left foot. Reach your hips left, upper body right. Make sure your left shoulder is plugged into the socket. So pull your left shoulder back and down. Take one more round. Breathe all the way down into your left waistline. Inhale, come back to center. Switch your grip. So left hand grabs your right wrist. Exhale, up and over. So hips go right, upper body goes left. Imagine you've got an invisible yoga block in between your inner thighs, so you're hugging in with your inner thighs. Lots of your weight is in your right foot, so your left foot's pretty light against the ground, and then hips move to the right, upper body moves to the left. I hope I got all those lefts and rights correct. Plug your right shoulder into the socket. Take one more round. And inhale, back up. Exhale, bring your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers. If that's too much, you can grab opposite elbows as a modification. If you've got your fingers interlaced, well, actually everybody, even if you're grabbing opposite elbows, roll your shoulders back and down, squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine. Now, if you've got your fingers interlaced, option to press your palms together, steeple your index fingers. So you're using muscles to keep pressing your palms and steepling your index fingers. Now, see if you can start to reach your hands slightly back, maybe even little baby back bend. So point that index finger, that big index finger down towards the ground, heart towards the sky. Take one more inhale here. Keep your clasp. Exhale, hinge at your hips, dive down. Forward fold, relax your neck at the bottom. We'll be here for about 3 rounds of breaths. Keep your fingers interlaced. So see if you can lift your knuckles, reach your index fingers higher, maybe even start to point them towards the top edge of your mat. Lift your butt cheeks, press back through the tops of your thighs. Take one more in-breath. Exhale, bring your hands to your low back first, then release your clasp, let your arms hang. Maybe give them just a gentle shake out, shake your head yes or no. Next time you breathe in, spinal extension, lengthen. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step your feet back. High plank pose. Come to your knees if you feel like modifying today. So take an inhale, and if your knees are lifted, little rock forward, so you're on your tippy toes. Keep that as you exhale, lower halfway down. Strong arms, strong belly. Inhale, press back up. Do that one more time. Exhale, little rock forward, lower halfway. Try not to let your shoulders roll forward. Inhale, press back up. And then slow as you can go, one strong straight line all the way to your belly. Spider-Man Cobra. So bring your hands out wide. So hands are framing your mat. Lift to your fingertips. Elbows face the sky. Lift your chest. Breathe in. Press down through your pelvis. Exhale, twist to the right and dip your left shoulder down. Inhale, back through center. Press your pelvis down. Press your shoelaces down. Exhale, other side. Twist left, right shoulder dips. Inhale, back to center. Try to stay up on your fingertips one more time, each direction. Move at your own pace. Big, spacious breaths. And eventually an exhale just lowers you back to the ground, back to your belly. Hands frame your mid-ribs. However you would like to transition, just do it with awareness. Downward facing dog. So one more time, we'll be in our down dog for about 5 deep breaths. Just feel into the pose. So again, in this class, deep power, when we do these longer holds, the goal is not to just tune out and kind of hang out in the pose for a little bit longer. It's to tune in and make little tiny adjustments to be more efficient in your body. So see if you can start to feel into those little tiny muscles. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. See how that feels. Press down through your thumbs and your index fingers more. See how that feels. See what it feels like to take your feet out a little wider or bring your feet in a little closer. And then notice if you're rolling onto the outer edges of your feet. Root more into the inner edges. If You're rolling into the inner edges of your feet. Roll into the outer edges just a little more. So all these little tiny imbalances we have that we don't even notice, that's why we're here. That's what we're starting to pay attention to. Take one more big in-breath into your down dog. Press into your fingertips. Lift your sit bones high. Exhale, look forward however you want to get there. Forward fold top of your mat. Once you've arrived, your inhale brings you to your halfway lift position. And exhale, let it go. All right, let's rise all the way up. Inhale, big full body stretch. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, take your arms to the sky. Now listen, exhale, chair pose, sit back. So weight in your heels. See if you can pick up your toes, spread them apart. Now, just like I was talking about before, notice if you're rolling onto the outer edges of your feet, stay rooted through the inner, and vice versa. So just checking in, nice and stable through your base. And then squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades towards your spine and see if you can lift your heart a little higher. Draw your belly button back towards your spine and feel the engagement of your low, deep abdominals, those transverse. Now, from here, we're going to take one more inhale. Keep everything exactly the same, but as you exhale, just hinge at your hips. Bring your spine parallel to the ground. Reach your arms straight forward. So all of a sudden, your arms get really, really heavy. Imagine you're trying to press your arms up. Keep the length in the back of your neck, so gaze down. So arms are reaching forward, palms face each other, press your arms towards the sky. Now, see if you can slowly straighten your legs by lifting your sit bones and pressing back through the tops of your thighs. Just like I was saying before, this is your downward facing dog. This is your halfway lift. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, let everything go, forward fold. Pause here for a moment. Bring your hands behind your head. Interlace your fingers at the base of your skull. So give the back of your neck some traction. I'm going to take my feet out a little bit wider because it feels good to me. You can do the same if you'd like. So just breathing here. Little tiny adjustments, balancing out the weight in your feet. Lifting your sit bones up, navel to spine each time you exhale. Soften through your face. Take one more deep breath. End of your exhale, release your arms, spinal extension, realign, breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands back to your plank pose. One more time, we've got 2 slow motion push-ups. Inhale, top of your push-up, little rock forward. Exhale, halfway down, come to your knees if you want to modify. Inhale, press back up. Same thing, one more time. Exhale, rock forward, lower halfway. Shoulder blades hug your spine so shoulders aren't rolling forward. Inhale, press up. Slow motion all the way down to your belly. All right, Spider-Man Cobra. This time you might not lift up quite as high. So press into your fingertips, lift your chest, elbows face the sky. Pause here. So this is where you might want to lower your chest just a little bit. Bend your right knee, press into your right fingertips a lot, and roll onto the outside of your left hip. So reach your right tiptoes towards the ground behind you. And then see if you can let your left shoulder dip down towards the center of your mat. Your belly button should not be on your mat anymore, so you're lifted up. You're all the way on the outside of your left hip. Take one more big, huge breath. End of your exhale, release. And then switch sides. So right leg straight, left knee bends. Roll up and over onto the outside of your right hip. Reach your left toes towards the ground behind you. Let your right shoulder kind of sink down just a little bit towards the center of your mat. Big spacious breath, soften your face. Nice, you guys. End of your next exhale. Let it go, unwind. All right, lower down to your belly, forehead to the ground. Hands frame your mid-ribs. However you want to transition with awareness, downward facing dog. Reconnect to your breath. Oh yay, Raul and Seychelles joined us. I'm so happy to see you guys. All right, my friends. This time from our down dog, inhale, let's take our right leg to the sky. So three-legged dog. For now, keep your hips square, inner thighs face each other. Press down through your fingertips, especially thumbs and index, and then press up through your right foot. See if you can squeeze through the front of your right thigh. And then you might have a big bend in your left knee. That's perfectly fine. See if you can lift your left butt cheek just a little higher. Take one more in-breath. Exhale, right knee to your nose. So keep your hips and your waistline lifted. Curl in. Shoulders over wrists. Stay here as you breathe in. Push the ground away. You should be on your back tiptoes. Exhale, step your right foot through, low lunge. And then today we're going to bring our back knee down to start. So if you need extra cushion, you're at home, so you might even have a pillow or a blanket you can use. If not, just double up your mat, fold over the side. Bring your hands to your front thigh. And then walk your front foot just slightly forward, like an inch or two. Imagine your low belly, low back, and your pelvis are one unit. So I want them to move as one unit. So rather than doing this, I want you to slowly bring your right hip towards your right heel. Keep your pelvis, your low back, low belly as one unit. So navel to spine. Those low, deep abdominals are toned. Hands on your front thigh. Push your hands into your thigh and see if you can lift your chest a little higher. Imagine you're trying to sit your right butt cheek on your right heel, and imagine you're trying to pull your right heel back and up towards your right butt cheek. Option to take your arms to the sky. Take your gaze up. Breathe. So as you allow your hips to move forward and down, tone your low abdominals, lift your heart. Maybe even spread your fingers like there's energy shooting out of your fingertips. Take one more in-breath. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground. Tuck your back toes under now. Lift your back knee, setting up for our high crescent lunge. Rise when you're ready. So now your legs are really strong, really stable. Keep pulling right hip back, left hip forward. Reach through your fingertips. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, grab your left wrist with your right hand, side body stretch. So pull your upper body up and over to the right, and then see if you can pull your right hip back just a little more. Imagine you're trying to pull your left hip forward. Breathe down into your left hip. So see if you can feel this stretch move all the way down into your hip flexors. Take one more huge round of breath. Inhale, come back up, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground, low lunge. We're gonna take it back to three-legged down dog, right leg to the sky. This time, open up your right hip. So bend your right knee, reach your right knee out, lift your right knee up, squeeze through your outer right butt cheek, flex your right toes. Stay rooted through all 10 fingertips, so press down into your hands. Take one more big inhale. Stay here if you like, or exhale, option to flip your dog. Right toes come down behind you. Right arm reaches forward, heart forward. Press your hips up. Squeeze your back muscles around your spine. Breathe into the front of your heart. Take one more round wherever you're at. End of your exhalation. Let's all meet back in a down dog. So both feet on the ground, walk it out. Now listen here, we're gonna get a little crazy. From your down dog, lower down to just your right forearm. So it's like you're in a half dolphin, half down dog. It's gonna feel a little bit funky here for a second. So right forearm to the ground, press down through your forearm, and then see if you can reach. So you might need to walk your toes in a little closer or take your feet out a little bit wider. See if you can reach your left hand back to grab your left ankle, just the outside of your left ankle. So right forearm is pressing down, it's rooting down firmly. Your belly button's drawing in and up. Left hand grabs your left ankle. Press your heels towards the ground, but without rounding through your spine. Stay here, or craziest last option, see if you can float your right leg to the sky. It's insane. I can't even believe I'm doing it right now, and I'm talking. I'm like, oh my God, I'm amazing, you guys. It's so hard. All right, bring your right leg down if you had it lifted. And then let's let everything go. Knees come down. Child's pose into embryo pose. So knees might feel better, a little bit closer with this one. And then you're gonna reach your hands back towards your heels. If it's available to you, you can grab your heels. It might feel good to just let your arms relax, palms face up. And then some big, slow, deep breaths. Maybe some open mouth exhales. Just feel your body. Feel the energy inside of you. Feel your breath as it expands and contracts. Take about 2 or 3 more. You guys are awesome. Meet me back in downward facing dog. All right, let's do all that on our other side. So from your down dog, big inhale, left leg high. So for this one, hips stay square, inner thighs face each other, and then press down through your fingertips, press up through your left heel or your left toe. So I don't care which one it is, just make your left foot active, and then try to squeeze through the front of your left thigh. See if you can even squeeze those little tiny stabilizer muscles around your left knee. So if you're doing this, your left leg might even start to shake just a little bit. Lift higher through your right butt cheek. Take one more inhale. Exhale, left knee to your nose. Curl in, hollow out. Stay here as you breathe in and push the ground away. You're on your back tippy toes. Exhale, step your left foot through. Bring your back knee to the ground gently. Grab your extra cushion or adjust your mat if you need to for extra cushion. And then hands come up to your front thigh. Back toes can stay tucked under. I always get this question, should my back toes be tucked or not? So back toes can stay tucked under to keep the pose a little more active and to really stabilize your back shin. If you do want to untuck your toes, perfect, but focus on pressing down through your shoelaces and through your toenails, so you're not just letting your back foot kind of disappear and you don't know what's going on. All right, so that said, let's start to walk your front foot forward just a little bit and then start to work your left butt cheek towards your left heel. Pelvis and low back, low belly, work as one unit. So draw navel to spine. Lengthen your spine, lift your chest. Press down into your left heel and imagine you're trying to pull your left heel back and up towards your left butt cheek. See if you can let your hips move further forward, further down. Option to take your arms to the sky. Keep breathing. So most of your weight here, my friends, is in your front foot. Pull your left heel back and up energetically. Let your left sit bone move closer to your left heel. Reach your heart higher, perhaps a little gaze up. Take one more in-breath. Exhale, bring your hands down. Now let's set up our high crescent lunge. So tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and rise when you're ready. High on the ball of your back foot. Pull left hip back, right hip forward, so you're really squeezing through your inner thighs. Low abdominals, those transverse abdominals are toned, so So your low back feels really supported. And then heart high. Take one more inhale, spread your fingers. Exhale, grab your right wrist with your left hand. Upper body moves up and over to the left. Pull left hip back, right hip forward. That'll help you balance. And it'll also help you get into the muscle in the front of your right hip. So those hip flexors, breathe down into them. Good, you guys. Let's take one more round. Pull your right shoulder back and down so it's plugged in. Next time you breathe in, back to crescent. Reach both arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the ground. Back to our three-legged dog. Open up your left hip. So left leg high and then bend your knee. Reach your knee out, reach your knee up. Squeeze your outer left butt cheek, flex your left toes. Keep pressing down into both hands. You guys are awesome. See if you can lift your left knee a little higher. One more inhale. Stay here if you'd like, or flip it over. So left foot to the ground behind you. Left arm reaches forward, heart forward. Press your hips up. So try to let your front body open and expand. Breathe down into your belly. Last round wherever you're at. And let's all come back, downward facing dog. Walk it out for just a moment. All right, here comes the fun part. Okay, so this time, just your left forearm comes down. So like you're coming into dolphin with your left arm. So you want to bring your elbow in just a little bit so it's right underneath your shoulder. And once you're kind of down on that left arm, you might want to readjust your right hand just a little bit so it feels all right. And then walk your feet possibly out to the sides of your mat and maybe just a little further forward. But keep the length in your spine. Try not to round your back. Stay here, or here we go. Right hand reaches back to grab your right ankle, outer edge of your right ankle. Press down through your left forearm. Lift from your center, from your belly button. Stay here, or here's the craziest part of all, left leg to the sky. Woo! You gotta hug in towards center. You gotta press down through your left forearm so your left shoulder stays strong. So don't let your head come to the ground. If your left leg is lifted, reach through your heel or through your toes. Take one last breath. Oh my God, it's so hard. Left foot down, and then let's bring it all down. Embryo pose again. Sit back, reach back, breathe. You guys are amazing. In your next couple of rounds, so feel free to take an exhale out your mouth. And then meet me back in downward facing dog. All right, Ujjayi breath, fire it up. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, right arm as high as you can get. Aim for your armpit. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, softly step your right foot through. Rise up to crescent lunge. All right, my friends, from here, you're going to hinge at your hips. Reach your arms forward. So just like we did when we were in that halfway lift position with our arms reaching forward. And then when you're ready, lean forward a little more, float your back leg up. This is just like a three-legged down dog, but you're standing on your right foot rather than hands on the ground. So it's just kind of tipped on its side or tilted up. Now see if you can lengthen just a little bit more. Just like you would do in your three-legged dog. Press through your fingertips. Press back through your heel or your toes. One more inhale. And exhale, low lunge. So come back down. Three-legged down dog. Right leg to the sky. Open up your hip for a moment. And then when you're ready, we're taking pigeon pose. So right shin forward, set your body down gently. So right knee towards the outer right edge of your mat. Pull your right hip back, left hip forward. So just like we do in our crescent lunge, hugging towards midline. Find the structure, the strength, the integrity of the pose. Keep pulling your right hip back as you bow. So reach your heart forward. Then let it go. Let your head be heavy. Neck relaxes, face softens. Same as I described in that low lunge, back toes can stay tucked under to just remind that leg to stay just slightly active so that your hip stays nice and square, your ankle stays nice and aligned. Or untuck your toes but press through your toenails, even your little baby toe, your pinky toenail. Press through your shoelaces. Keep pulling your right hip back and slightly up. So we want to plug the femur bone right into the hip socket. And then just let your body soften around that. Good job, my friends. Take your last couple of rounds. Exhale out your mouth if you'd like. And then nice and easy, let's rise back up. Plant your hands, curl your back toes under, three-legged down dog, right leg to the sky, give it a nice little shake out. Eventually, regular down dog, walk it out. And just kind of feel for a moment, right leg versus left leg. Right side versus left side. No judgment, just observation. Stay in your down dog, couple more breaths, walk it out. Or, let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, rock forward, high plank. Exhale, slowly lower. Back bend of your choice, breathe in. And exhale, down dog. Right leg to the sky, inhale. Exhale, left leg to the sky. I don't know if I said right, but I meant left. Left leg to the sky. Let's take another inhale. And then with your exhale, left knee, right elbow. So a little twist, keep your hips level with shoulders. Inhale, three-legged dog, stretch it out. Exhale, left to left, aim high. Hips level with shoulders. Belly button towards your spine. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, softly step forward, low lunge. Rise up to crescent lunge. So just for a moment, find that stability in your legs. And then as you're ready, think of pulling your left hip back. Hinge at your hips, spine parallel to the ground. Reach forward. I know your arms feel heavy. Press them up towards the sky. Lean forward a little more, float your back leg up. So we're in our three-legged down dog, but we're balancing on one foot. Can you lengthen your spine more? Can you reach your right leg back and squeeze through the front of your right thigh? Squeeze those stabilizer muscles around your right knee. Last breath. End of your exhale, soft landing, low lunge. So hands on the ground, three-legged dog, take it back and up. Let's open up our hips, so bend your left knee. Take a moment here, and then when you're ready, let's come into our pigeon pose, left shin forward. Your left hip is nice and warm. And get a deeper stretch. It feels a little more intense. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. So find the structure first. Keep pulling your left hip back as you reach your heart forward, just like you do when you dive down in your forward fold. Back toes can stay tucked or untuck them, but press through the top of your foot, press through your toenails. For years and years and years, I guess I had my back ankle just kind of twisting, my back foot just really lazy. And then one time the teacher was like, do you know your back foot is totally like sickling? Your back ankle is totally sickling when you're in pigeon and cobra. I'm like, what? I'm like, whatever. And then I looked and I'm like, oh my gosh. So little tiny things. And then they start to bring in deeper awareness. So once you have that awareness of your back foot, all of a sudden there's this new awareness in your ankle, your shin, your calf. You feel it up into your knee. So just start to feel, as we hold these poses longer, those little tiny adjustments, those little teeny tiny muscles inside. Sometimes learning how to engage or learning how to pay attention to them, even soften them, can change the pose completely. Take about 3 to 5 more breaths. Last couple rounds. If you want to, open mouth, exhale. And then let's slowly begin our transition back to our three-legged dog. So no hurry. Take your time. Move mindfully. Eventually, three-legged dog, left leg back and up, give it a nice little shake out. Hi, Miss Ruby. And then left foot down, regular down dog, walk it out. Walk it out for a couple more breaths in your dog pose. If it feels really good, stay here. Otherwise, come with me. Inhale, high plank. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Shoulders down, away from your ears. Exhale, down dog. Everybody take one last big breath into your dog. End of your exhale, set your knees on the ground. And then let's come down onto our back. So however you want to transition, whichever direction you want to face, all the way down onto your back. When you get there, full body stretch. So take your arms long. Take your legs long. Pull yourself apart. Big, huge inhale. Exhale, draw your knees in. Rock gently from side to side. And then let's take a supine spinal twist of your choice and go in either direction first. So you choose what feels best, right or left. Both knees bent, one leg straight, both legs straight, knees crossed, lots of variations. And then gaze up or over your opposite shoulder. Reach your opposite arm. So whichever direction your legs are going, your opposite arm is reaching out to the other side. Or cactus position, goalpost. And then big, deep Buddha belly breaths. Just letting your body now relax into the ground. Give more and more of your weight to the ground with each breath. And then just in your next couple of breaths, no hurry, come through center and find your way to the other side. So before you just switch sides, take a moment to neutralize your spine. So you can hug your knees in, give them a big squeeze. You can take a little rock. Eventually, legs to the other side, opposite arm reaches out. Big, deep Buddha belly breaths all the way down. And each exhale takes you all the way to emptiness. And then when you feel pretty even on both sides, so absolutely no hurry whatsoever. When you feel pretty even, just slowly find your way back to center and take a happy baby pose. And then if there are any more poses, any final movements you want to take to complete your own practice, and take just a moment to do so. So maybe one last inversion, one last heart opener, hip opener, and you just want to roll out your wrists or ankles. So anything that calls to you. And then as you're ready, just settle into your final relaxation. So I give you full permission, and I invite you to give yourself full permission for these last couple moments to just be. So whatever you've got to do today, I think it can wait 2 minutes, most likely. Unless you're Raoul and you get called into the hospital, maybe not. I'm just kidding. But for the most part, we can let everything else go for now, let it all kind of just fall away. The world will be okay without us for just a couple more minutes, most likely. So give yourself permission to relax, to rest without feeling guilt, without feeling like you need to be doing something or fixing something or taking care of someone. This time is for you. And I will read you a little passage from this book called Journey to the Heart by Melody Beattie. If you'd rather just have a silent Shavasana, you don't want to hear anything else, totally fine. You're always welcome to mute me. So as you rest, just kind of let these words sink in to your body, into your being. Change is in the air. Just as the world around us changes and evolves, so do the circumstances and situations in our lives. We live in a universe that is alive, vibrant, and constantly evolving. Change is the way nature, the universe, and the divine move us through each period of our lives and into destiny. We are led to our next lesson, our next adventure. There is no need to deny change, to fear it, or fight against it. Change is inevitable. Just as the earth is constant motion and transformation, so are we. Take your place in the universal dance, the universal rhythm. Allow change to happen. Work with it as your life unfolds. Sometimes change comes in one smashing moment, like a volcanic eruption. Other times it happens more slowly, the way the winds and rain sculpt bridges out of canyons. Learn to trust your body, its signs, signals, warnings, and excited proclamations. We let the gathering clouds warn us of impeding storms, and we learn to study and predict tremors in the earth. In much the same way, our body can function as a barometer for our soul and its place in the constantly changing and evolving universe. You are open now, more sensitive than you have been before. Change is coming. It is here. You can feel it in the air. You can feel it in yourself. So take whatever resonates for you in those words and imagine those words like stardust or like vapor Just kind of seeping into your body, seeping into all the little spaces, permission for change, for growth, allowance for possibility, acceptance for the changing of emotions inside of you, the waves of emotion, of life energy that move through us constantly. And just take what works for you and leave the rest behind. Take a great big inhale, fill up as big as you can. And then as you exhale, just let everything go. So letting go of any expectation or any idea of the way we think things need to show up for us. So that's my biggest kind of takeaway, the difference of setting goals and setting intentions. We set an intention and then we open up to different ways of letting it show up. So start to slowly bring movement back to your physical body. And as you feel ready, roll to either side, fetal position, and give yourself just one last moment there, a couple deep breaths there. Keeping your body as relaxed as possible, use your arms to guide yourself up into a seated meditation. So as you settle in, if you want to move just a little bit, maybe stretch your arms up one last time, roll your head around, roll your shoulders around. And then eventually just finding stillness, sit up nice and tall, close your eyes. Gather your hands to your heart and bow your head to your heart. Acknowledge yourself for showing up for your practice this morning, coming to your mat, doing your inner work. I thank you guys for letting me guide you. The light in me sees and honors and reflects the light in you. Namaste.